value is $169. 5 mills will be $38.
That's gonna be max it out. Probably put another 5 on it.
5. Okay, do we have a motion for that?
I'll make a motion for 5.
Jeff, I second.
I'll second.
Taylor, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And that's to raise 5 mils.
Yeah. Any other comments or questions on that? If not, we can take a motion to adjourn then, correct? And go to our
The only thing
meeting.
I wanna ask is, do we, and I don't know this for sure, you guys probably would, do you need to, approve this meeting from last year? Like we do the minutes every month, do we have to approve this, or is this okay?
Yeah, we approved it already, sorry.
Okay,
I read the minutes.
Yeah,
We
you
approved it.
and who was first and second?
Yeah. Taylor made the motion, Lauren seconded it.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that. So, motion to adjourn that, no levy meeting.
Move to adjourn.
Lauren second.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then we'll call at 7:08, our regular Gackle City Council meeting on Monday, September 13th. First of all, did you guys look at the minutes from last meeting? Any corrections or additions to that? If not, we'll take a motion to approve those.
Move to approve.
Lauren? Second? Second. Taylor? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, and anything to add to the new agenda for tonight?
I just added on real quick for Alex.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Okay.
We'll recognize him right away, so if he wants to.
Rejected. You guys want me to begin, or?
We'll take a motion quick to approve it,
Yeah.
or you guys have any additions or anything?
No, I
No? Okay.
approve the,
Okay, Jeff, aye. Second?
Second.
Larry, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, okay, go ahead, Alex, sorry.
So, I spoke to Andrew tonight, with the new roads that were obviously paved in town. If there's something we can get up on like the side streets and stuff for truck routes. We don't want any semis going through any of the residential areas that just got paved and decide to wreck the roads again or whatever, since they're brand new. So, I don't know, we want to give it the city to put those up and figure out where the truck routes are, or do you guys know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
What is our truck route? Do you have any idea?
56.
As far as I know, it's just.
And Allied, right? I mean, that's the only two I
The
can.
only snafu is the Henry's truck that has to go to the school.
He's exempt though,
Oh,
with the
Care center.
care center and the school, he's exempt, yeah.
so, and then.
Service trucks are exempt
Okay.
automatically, I think.
Well, if not, we can make it that way.
Yeah, as far as I know. the
Is
only
this
truck
from here,
route
or
should
is
be
that
Allied.
for truck route for like, for?
Well, you can't call it truck route, that's why they make them exempt,
Okay.
so they just go straight to where they need to go, as what I am understanding them. So we don't really have a truck route, because there's no necessity anywhere besides Allied or.
What about posted signs?
That's-
Are you looking at posted signs?
that's what we're gonna probably, I mean, that's what I was thinking, I know Andrew was saying the same thing. Like those
No
signs-
trucks on every street.
Yeah,
Just
cause there, I don't know, within the city ordinances, there's something to do with residential, if there's trucks allowed, semis or anything like that, cause I know we've had problems in the past with that,
Right.
with other people.
With posted signs, your job would be a lot easier.
Yep.
So, I'm in agreement to talk to Newman Signs, and maybe figure out.
We gotta get with the state also, because I know just to hang from here, Richie, there,
Yeah.
we had to.
Oh, really?
Get allowed
We're
to.
doing it on a state highway.
That was on the state highway. Yeah, well, that's,
But you're
anywhere,
still-
you're still putting them offside, so. Okay.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to be a little lenient with couple of the roads, things agriculture, but I don't know where the fine line there is either, but I'm talking like Robbie Roof, if he's coming with something at night, or down the,
Right.
past the
going
Lutheran
out-
church,
going
I'm
out to-
just saying,
Out to the,
we're gonna have some traffic there too, I'm sure, but how do we wanna tackle that?
Probably Randy Miller is the one that I
He's gonna be
worried
the
about.
biggest one, just because his shop's there. where he goes.
Uh,
Just because his shop's there where he works on stuff. There.
so we gotta write that up, or?
I don't know how to tackle that, cause I don't want it to be favoritism.
It has to be,
It's gotta be-
Obviously, having a loaded truck, that has to be in. You can't get a truck dumped, and you can't park over here and walk home.
And I don't know about, what's the minnow guy over here?
The beer shop or whatever?
He told us before he was gonna have semis drive down that road, and I don't know how we're gonna tackle that either.
DJs?
We should, can't expect to do that.
But he was sitting right here when he said it.
Did he say semis? I missed that.
He does, when they bring bait in, like their night crawlers and leeches, they bring them in out of Canada with a semi.
Yeah, sir.
Is it gonna be a freight semi, or is it gonna have their own?
It's usually a freight company, they're reefers,
Yeah, well, that's,
Mm.
that's.
but I don't know really how many he gets a year, you know, but
I can't
Probably
imagine
one a
it's-
year, and that's
what I was
about
gonna
it.
say, it's probably a one-time a year.
Depends on how big the trucks are too.
and I don't know if they're that heavy, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They're not like, you know, loaded grain trailers.
Our empty reefer trucks, be 34.
Yeah, it's just gonna be but we gotta do something, figure something out.
Mhm.
Cause even, not just in the
Like you
streets,
say,
but
consistency too.
our old streets too, we don't want them tore up any worse,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
With that overlay coming next year, it's gonna be
Right.
all the streets. But that's just, with the agriculture community or different businesses like that, it's tough.
That road wasn't just out to the cemetery though, you know, I mean, that's the only way to get grain
I
for
know,
us.
I know. Just thinking that too.
Well,
Didn't mean to be
Yeah,
bad
no.
news, but.
It's been something that's been.
Yeah, we've talked, we just gotta figure out what we wanna do,
But even like Robbie, you know, what we could do is widen the approaches a little more at the city barn. And if he comes in loaded, he could just,
Work the part.
you know, park by the city barn and he'd have a ride home.
I would say he's not gonna bring anything loaded.
I don't think he's going to either.
If anything, I'll take it out there for him.
Yeah, I'm just trying to bring up different situations, but, and we can't leave it up to these guys to try and decide what one's one and what's not. I mean, it's,
No,
It's
he's
gotta
gotta
be
be,
something
he's
that
gotta be pretty cut and dry for these guys.
I think they really like to make the decision, I think we should just let them.
Well, I'm on my day off tonight, so I'm going home.
But then at the same time, if we post the signs, and
It's gonna
it could be just like, now they have that farmland out by the cemetery. That'd be, what, 2 days, 3 days out of the year? And like the bait barn would probably be once or twice a year. We just look the other way and somebody bitches, tell them, hey, they're a service vehicle, basically.
Yeah. It's just the constant traffic, we wanna make sure we don't.
Well, I know that we ran into, I think it was last summer, we had, I mean, you could, I don't think you could tell they're service vehicles, but they're service semis or whatever, but they're hauling in pipes and all kinds of different freight stuff that doesn't have anything to do with agriculture, anything to do with the farming community in their areas. So we did have, but, I mean, obviously that person's gone now, but that's where we're kind of running into, you know, if we get some of these contract semi-drivers that come through, that per se, for instance, the, you know, Knife River guys or something like that, you know, or they're hauling something else and they rent an apartment for a night for an Airbnb thing, and they park on the, you know, whatever. But,
No. But at the same time, a guy, if you deny access, you gotta have some sort of route where they can go and park, I
Right.
suppose, you know?
A lot of them park right down here where that old trash can used to be.
Yeah.
That's kind of private property, but I'm sure the ally will let you stay up there as much as you want.
are you talking about right next to the Legion, Sherry?
Yeah, not private.
And I've noticed a few semis will come in.
My
I don't
neighbor
know if
parks
they
there all the
stop
time.
Right,
for
and
a
I'm
drink
sure
or, you know,
she'll
for a Coke
let
or
you do
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
Then they'll pull around the block, either by the care center or by our place.
Yep.
Get back on Main again.
And I think the signs are gonna deter a lot of it the way it's sounding.
Yeah.
I mean, the normal residents are gonna only
Yeah.
do it when they have to.
Maybe underneath you put another sign that says, points to where there is parking available for them to park. Semi-parking,
Just
Buy out.
just for parking available, I mean, if they need to call it.
I think the truck route sign should be fine. When you hang a truck route sign there, and they can see truck route, and it's one giant parking lot down that road. They want to park there, it's pretty much people who know what they're doing out there. And I've got a lot of drifters coming to town. But biggest thing is deterring more than giving Alex a chance to enforce it, you know, I mean, it's just deterring the problem, because the amount of semis that actually go down those roads are so few and far between that he's gonna actually see anybody at that right time, you know, and he will probably hit a couple of them. But it's just, the biggest thing is the ultimate deterrent. So get the signs, and then
Are we talking signs on every street or just, we can't say stay on truck route, we really don't have one. but-
I just
Or
say-
anything stand.
I don't know what them, if it's no trucks allowed or what it is for the sign, but
Just
just
put
one of them on every,
Well,
Or
so
no
what,
city streets, you know, in general.
you know,
Coming in,
Coming in and out of town, no parking on city, or no driving vehicles on city
and
streets.
I don't know what this sign you'd hang on this one would be, if it'd just be truck route or trucks.
Put a truck
allowed,
right
or-
down over to Ally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be,
You could do truck route or truck parking or whatever you wanna do, or. I don't know if I really wanna say
We
truck,
can
I
talk to for the
don't know if I wanna
state.
say truck parking, just cause you are kinda crossing the line, giving people permission to park in that parking lot,
no,
you know,
yeah.
and we don't want any.
don't run any more issues there.
Yeah, we don't need to send trucks on other people's
I-
stuff.
I think I'd just keep it simple,
Yeah.
no trucks, you know, put them on each corner and done with it.
And just don't even put a sign on there. So people can see, oh, there's no truck road sign here, pull on there if you want.
Okay. We'll have to dig into that a little bit more, but yeah, I'm glad we got going on that sooner than later. Anything else, Alex? Any other concerns?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Probably get it in the next like 30 minutes, but that's fine.
All right, well, thanks for stopping. Thanks for the concerns. More engineers not coming tonight, so we'll put them on to new business.
yeah,
Okay. All right, so we'll move into Bill on city maintenance. What do you got?
You guys heard we did have a water leak in town, did somebody already do that. We did finally track it down over by Scorex. It was on their side of the curb stop. It was leaking pretty bad, and it was 30,000 a day.
Oh,
I told Vaughn just to send the bill here, and see we'll pay him, and let's figure something out there,
okay.
so.
We're like today,
Today we were in the high 40s. But Saturday morning we were in the upper 70s. But I wasn't sure if Allied was spraying this past week, they weren't. I seen their truck parked down there, so I didn't know if they were spraying it. I seen it leave the other day too, so.
I don't think so.
we probably gotta check manuals again, that's still high. I mean, typically we ran about 30. And I don't know what the story is with the harvester. think we looked, you know, that there was still a lot of flow coming from the north, and maybe we should track that one
Going,
back a little further.
yep. Yeah. Do that tonight.
Okay. Anything else for us?
I think that's about it. Unless you guys got something.
Not that I know of. You guys,
That,
anything for Bill?
Just that pool.
that hole down there by Dwight Least, it's on that lot. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like a sinkhole. Toilet's got it all marked with orange flags now. It's like that storm drain is falling in or something. And, it's been getting bigger. And we talked about it here a few months back.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back up.
Yeah. We're gonna have to do, I don't know, maybe dig in there and just see if it is a storm drain or what's going on. Because, I think there's a storm drain going through, isn't there? We talked about it, we figured that's what the storm drain is.
Yeah, it goes to the rest of the trees,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
She,
I had to dig it up a little bit, or you want, I don't know if we're gonna get deep.
Twyla's been complaining about it, because they wanna drive through there with their campers, and they're afraid of getting too close to it.
I
Because
guess
it's getting pretty big now.
Well, I guess we could try and see what, I
See
didn't,
what it does.
I don't know, I literally spaced it out, but I can't remember.
Well, the street project kinda took, you know, 'cause it was like,
Because there was that one, like another one we talked about, wasn't it?
One
oh,
about
by the
church.
church, you know.
That seems to,
I do have a guy here with a track hole, but we've been burying water lines at my place and digging water holes and burying buildings, so if you would need that, Tanner Lura, guy I went to high school with, he's from Carrington. So he did all that, his track hole was sitting in my yard. And he'll be down sometime next week to dig a water hole and open. So that's on the table.
We might want to address that before winter then.
Cause he's gonna dig a water hole and bury a few more buildings around here for some other people. So his track hole is probably gonna be here for a few weeks.
Yeah, and I talked to Pat, we gotta address that issue down there, north of Pat's too. And I was hoping more would be here so we could survey the whole, starting at the north end of the park all the way through, so we know what elevations we're dealing with. Because it didn't flood bad today, but, I know the other day with that heavy rain, here 2-3 weeks ago, it really backed up. It was down there to the house.
Okay. What's your thoughts, or what's Pat's thoughts on that? Because he was supposed to take care of that when he put that in, correct? Okay.
Yeah, I
He's
just,
obviously aware of it.
when I talked to Pat more or less, it was just left, the first thing we gotta do is determine elevation.
Mhm.
They just slopped that culvert in and made a mess, is what they did. Probably have to all get it redug out. and
no, it's
start over.
unfortunate, but it's Pat's liability at the moment.
Mhm.
You know, he doesn't want that liability of flooding that house out down there. And it could happen pretty easy. All right.
Then after today, when it dries off again, I'm gonna go in with the skidder heading south of that road. So that's backing up so bad, but first thing I have to do is locate the cables. I wanna see what depth they are. See what we got to work with. And I hopefully can float on top with the skidder.
All right. Well, keep us informed on that then, I guess. Anything else, Bill?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. You'll just stay in touch with, sorry, with
Yeah, so just give
Taylor about the, okay?
heads up so I can let him know.
And then, Tom, he's not here, but one day a guy stopped him, and they had relatives or connections back to Gackle from many years ago. And the guy wanted a city Jubilee book, and Tom gave it to him, and then he said, well, I won't take it free, you know, so he gave $40.
Okay.
That's a donation to the city.
Okay.
And, then I talked to, you know, those two spots where it turns to gravel, got so dang washboardy. And with the uncertainties in the county level, you know, when, before Brian quit, he was gonna come in and blade, but and one day I was talking to Dennis Meyer, and he's got it's a cutter. And I told him to come in and try it once, see if we can get those washboards cut out. And he did the one over here, and that really turned out good over here. The one over there, it was too dry.
Yeah, probably.
And it's better, but it's still, I think if you come in again, but I told him to bill us, and here's a bill for an hour and a half at $105 an hour, and it's $157.
Is that just his 6-way blade, that blade he's got?
No, it's, it looks like a box scraper, but it's real heavy, and then it's got shoes on each side, and you set your cutting edge. If you wanna cut like a 1/2 inch, you set your cutting edge down and you're running on your shoes,
Okay.
and it just cuts and drags. And I'm surprised that it worked this well. And he said it would be better if it was wet.
Right.
To
Well,
get,
we can approach Kevin and see if something that he can come in now that he's on there
Right.
yeah.
and do that I don't know, once a month, whatever you guys think, but.
Actually, I think now would be an ideal time, if you could get in within the next day or two.
When it's this wet.
And that spot over here, I think he could.
Okay.
'Cause I drove it today or tonight, and it's, you know, you can tell it's softer. So you wanna contact him?
I sure can. I have his number.
Why don't you, if you could come in now, or
Yeah.
it's wet,
You know, a person, huh?
and he could run both of them.
Okay.
Question here, all right, should I give this money to Maryland? They still sell Jubilee books at the bank. Even though you get it here and we all thought it was done, I just gave her another case. So they still have a Jubilee checking account.
Oh.
And she just sold six or eight books like 2 weeks ago. Should I just give her this and not put it in the city's account? Is that still considered the Jubilee?
That's fine with me.
That's fine.
I mean, I don't wanna write this in the paper and then all of a sudden somebody say, hey, that belongs to the Jubilee account.
Put it in the Jubilee account.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm not even going to the city council beer talking about it.
That's been completed for a while.
Okay. You're good there then, Lauren?
Yep,
Okay.
I'll just do this.
Bill, you're good? Yep. Okay. Okay, auditor?
Nope, I just said that about the levy meeting from last year, I think that was it.
Okay, we got that. Nothing else? All right, we'll move on to Taylor. You got anything?
No.
Jeff High?
Negative.
Larry?
Nope.
Nope. Lauren? Okay, so we got old business we'll move into them. Permits for Pat and Sandy, remove old deck and put up new. Tristan Black, fence, roof siding, and windows. David Black, fence, roof siding, and window. John Miller, inside remodel. Harold to discuss mill levies. Bids for blade plow. How did that turn out, by the way, for the bids? Did we get that straightened out?
Ardell got it.
Yeah, I sent him the picture of the ad, and I said, well, there's really nothing in here that says you could raise your bid.
To Troy though, we got that straightened
I
out?
think so.
Okay.
He never,
He hasn't called me back since I talked to you, so.
yeah, so I sent him that, I said, call me when you have time, and we can talk about it if you have more questions, but I said, here's the ad, I don't know where you got it, that you could raise your bid.
Okay,
So-
okay, so that's done and over.
And it's already been paid for.
Yep.
Okay,
It's done, I think.
okay, permission for bond to cut through North-South Street, little part. Dave Paulson, paving of street, we got that done, he paid for that himself, right?
Oh, he did? He actually did.
That was a side deal, so that everyone's aware of that, that was nothing to do with the city, I made that clear to him.
But it was done the right way.
Mhm. Yep, Tom called me, they did exactly like the rest of the other streets, so. Nicole Sigmund for bar, that's done and over with. Okay, new business, hole in front of Larry Larson's house.
It's really not a hole, it's just kind of like a depression. And it just, whenever you get a little bit of rain, it just, this water puddle formed right where the new street meets the old street.
Oh,
And I
okay.
just thought I was gonna talk to more engineering, if there's any way we can divert somehow that water so it doesn't set there after the rain, because that's gonna just create a pothole.
It's gonna, yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be worse.
and I just thought maybe I'd talk to them tonight, but they're not here, so.
Make sure we get that cleared up, cause anything
Yeah,
like that
and
would
even
be.
if we just put some asphalt in or something, in a V shape, so that when it rains, it just,
Well, they're coming to diamond cut all our, manholes, correct? Okay. I don't know if it's this year, but yeah, make sure that's on the list.
yeah, so we
Correct.
get to that.
He said they would probably be back to do some of the patching this fall.
Would be so bad, but it's right on the scene, you know,
Yeah,
the water sits right between where the old and the new, and it's, I just figured that's gonna seep in there and cause a
Should-
problem.
I should drive around, make sure there's no more spots like that.
I seen one today, I'm trying to think where. It was the same situation.
Right, where they patched in, do the
Where
intersection.
the sewer line was, you know, there's an indention.
Cause I think that whole avenue, if I remember right, if you look at it, got that little depression going all the way through it, where that sewer line went through. So,
well, make sure we take some notes or something of it and
yeah,
get them aware of it.
just to get that water to divert, so
Yeah,
that,
that,
up there.
I mean, they should fix that, but that's,
It's gonna do exactly like by Siegmund's over there, that
Mhm.
Yep.
they overlaid over top of that
Right.
spillway or whatever.
We have one on our road too, it's right next to, what's that house they're renting to put their insurance stuff in, there's a big one right in front of there.
That's right, that's, I think, where I seen it.
Mm-hmm.
This is new construction now?
No, it's old, I mean, it's our old road.
Yeah, north of Cliff Plunts.
Okay. Is that a patch spot or what are we talking about?
It
Patch
should be a
spot.
patch spot.
North.
meets the
That's
old,
actually a pretty deep depression, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Well, yeah, like I said, we gotta make sure we write this down and make
yeah,
them aware of it,
just
so.
keeping, if you see spot, just mark it down and we can bring all the spots to their attention as soon as possible.
Yeah, and while we're talking about those streets, and I may as well bring up, it sounds like next year's when we're gonna do, what do we have in contingency money? We have contingency money left. We told them, we made the decision, since we were the one kind of dragging our feet on which streets to do, we're not gonna penalize them for not doing it this year, obviously, because that's on us, but they're gonna do a little patching, but they don't wanna do any patchwork that we might be putting new asphalt on next year. So make sure you guys have an idea which streets, we kind of met with Lauren and I met with them one time and kind of went over some of the worst streets. But we have until next spring to make our decision now.
Alright.
But it sounds like the smaller avenues are 25 to 30 grand for one block, and then the wider ones are 50. And we've got somewhere around 160 to 170,000 left in contingencies. So, just so you guys keep that on me, you know.
Narrow, maybe a little more.
Yeah, there's some spots that we went through and looked at that are worse than others, but
Right.
Right, it's just so.
that's one of the ones we said from where we stopped. Well, it wouldn't be where it's gravel, is there's what,
Yeah.
half a block or so right at that alley,
The apartment building, like past
Yeah.
the apartment building, all the way,
all the way to that corner, so it meets new to new there.
that's a must.
And then, we looked at the school on the east side, and it's 10 grand to do a long stretch, I'd say, what, maybe 10 feet wide, right next to the school curb,
Yeah.
pretty much the length of the school, or it's 50 grand to do that street. The rest of the streets,
The street's in good shape.
it's not terrible, but it's
a
not
street,
great.
it's a parking lot. That was my biggest thing with that one, like, there's not traffic on it, like, when
There's
people are
no
pulling in there, they're
traffic.
parking, they're not
Right.
driving.
Alex, you can just take the alley, you're fine.
I don't really do anything.
Except for that guy that lives over here.
That's the biggest deal with that one, that's why I said I'd rather make a million places people are driving and speeding.
What's the, another one we looked at was Dean Ensminger's past his place there, north and south, obviously.
in the north side of the ball diamond.
Yep.
That was really bad, chunks coming up. And, you know, the engineer had a point. The first impression, if you got outsiders coming into town, it's that first impression. And really, there's a lot of activity at the ballpark in the summertime with all the little kids around.
They can go both ways, I mean, look at that side of town too, you've got that road ends gravel as well. I mean, as far as first impressions go, you know, so.
The nice thing, that is a narrower street, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's,
Just depends on how far we go.
if we do the whole thing at what's pavement now, it would be 645 feet, it's 25 feet wide,
It is.
What's the city block, like,
300,
yeah, that's
like 2 city blocks.
50 grand.
It's not-
But it isn't quite so bad once you drop it, there is
I'm
a
with you on
stretch.
that up there, but
Huh?
I kinda go both ways on that.
There's probably about 300 to 400 feet that's really bad, and after that, it gets better.
Yeah, I know the fire department was the other one in front of there. That's so traveled.
That one,
I kinda looked at it and we thought, if we fix out in front of the overhead door and all that. But you drive all of them in there. I think once the overhead is done too, it's gonna
You
be.
could throw darts, they're all pretty close, but like I said, the one that's so easy to pick out is Risers Road. I mean, that thing is in the apartment building. I mean, you got a lot of traffic there. I mean, my wife drives out that way every day. I mean, everybody from the apartments goes that way. A lot of times I come into town more often that way than I would going by the baseball diamond.
Right.
You know, that's a must in my mind if we do that. But
Cause
the
we
good thing is we got South Spring to think about it. But
I think he said that one's gonna be right around 60,000 when you gave him the feet, is that, am I wrong on that? Bill, you were there, right, do you remember?
Yeah, something like that.
I thought he said 50 to 60 just from that alley, from the apartments, wait for the apartments, all the way to the corner, past
Oh,
risers, and
Oh, yeah.
that would be all the way to the,
yeah, that's 360.
I think we should leave a 40-foot patch right in front of Ryder's house.
Yeah, agreed.
26,
alligator shit. Right where he pulls out.
26 wide, 26 by 360. So it's a little over a block.
okay.
And then there was that strip of pavement that was in fair shape, that's another 260.
You know?
Well,
Hey,
this spring will
We
help,
got time, yeah.
this spring will help too, we'll see what becomes of it. and
Because
then-
I'd like to talk to you guys about it too, you know.
Everything's gonna disintegrate even more than
Well, that overlay
Yeah.
is gonna, or not overlay, the chip and seal is gonna help
That's
a lot, so. But yeah, just so we don't patch a street that we're gonna
That makes
change our
sense.
mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the little bit of patching, he told me that they were talking about doing this fall yet, it wasn't any streets that we talked about, or that we're talking about now, so.
Alright.
Which probably be a good thing in case tar and all that goes up, or the asphalt price. I might take out a little bit, so. Okay, so we'll table that obviously.
See you
Just
guys.
so you guys know.
Thank you, Alex.
Okay, so permit for Lori Lang, and that is for windows, new fittings, kitchen cabinets, new outlets, and new flooring.
Move to approve the permit for
Second,
Lori Lane.
Larry, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So you signed these, right? I don't.
Right.
Okay, so that's approved. All right, next, approve the bills. I'm missing something.
So we gotta do, this one here for engineering.
Oh, I had that written down.
I need those,
Oh,
motions.
my pen wasn't working, so I quit. Okay. So this is gonna be, we need motions for the engineer's report. Let's see, for contractor's application for payment. Fourth application for payment for the contractor. Payment is for subgrade, aggregate, and paving. we need a motion to approve, and this is, you guys got all the numbers here if you have any questions on that, but.
You don't have these.
Oh, it's not this.
You're the only one that has.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay. If you guys got any questions, it's right here. Payment number 5 for $254,422.04.
Move to approve.
Lauren, second. Taylor, all those in favor?
Aye.
And then, so that's the contractors, this is engineering invoice for.
Is this all separate from what's on the street project bill that we have? Or
Yep, this is gonna be coming out of there, I gotta write a check for these.
This is just what is coming out of that $2 million so far up to date, so you have an idea.
It's not this stuff?
Nope,
No, that's already come out.
Okay.
that's all
Yeah.
come out, the ones
This is
we're
the starting
approving
one,
now,
and then it's all.
the ones we're approving now will need to come out of that one.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so this is for engineering invoice for construction staking, special assessment calculations, and RPR work. Motion to approve engineering invoice number 27876 for $27,460.99.
Move to approve?
I'll say.
Taylor. All those in favor?
Alright, who was the first one?
Taylor.
Taylor and then Jeff?
Jeff, I second. All those in favor? Approved.
Okay. And if we can have these sheets if you wanna look at it. I have a second set, but that's just the billing that they gave for that. And I only do this so you guys can always see what we do have in the
Sure.
account.
Here's the bill from the administrator.
Here's, sign that, so that's done. Or do I not sign that copy? Last time I did.
Yeah, I think we do.
Okay, well, you have it if you need it.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Okay, thank you.
You signed it.
So yeah, if you guys, like I said, if you have any questions on that, it's right here. Written out for us. Okay,
Do we want to discuss the infrastructure fee?
yeah, we can. Go ahead.
You know, I think we should implement the infrastructure fee. You know, you look at it, we haven't done nothing with our rates since I think 2010 or 11. And it's catching up with us. I mean, we've been burning reserves is what we're doing. You know, I would be in favor of, let's go $25, is that right? And I don't think it takes readings, I don't think, I'm not sure about that. That we have to do 2 readings, do we? Do you know,
2
Sherry?
readings for what?
Like to raise the infrastructure fee?
I don't know, but I
We
could call,
can if we had to, though.
Well, we can call League of Cities.
we can call League of Cities about that.
Staff about it.
And then we just, you know, like, start an infrastructure fund, you know, it could be in a so-called general fund, but labeled infrastructure, and that money goes in there, and we determine if we have to pull out of there, where the money goes.
You wanna implement that like 2022, like January?
I think we
1?
should do it right now.
Okay.
If we could do it on either this month's water bill or next month, if it takes readings, we couldn't do it.
Well, we can find out.
But if it does not take readings, which I don't think it does, we could do it starting September.
Well, you can't wait till, yeah, the October bill, because these bills are already getting ready to go out.
Oh, okay.
So let's just do it as soon as possible based on readings.
Well, we'll call League of Cities
If
and
we
see
have
if you
to
have to
read
have
it.
1 or 2 meetings, or if you have to,
Fantastic.
I'll give them a call
So
tomorrow.
I would make the motion if,
I'll say.
Put it in
What do we wanna
discussion.
do? How much?
25.
25.
Is that an additional 25, or don't we have a
Right.
$5?
$5 an hour,
It's-
that would make $30 a month.
Right, an additional 25.
Yeah.
$100.
Much needed.
I'll make a motion then that we increase it by 25.
Second.
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Now, that doesn't have anything to do with each person's assessment or what they know as far as the
Just go
streets.
right into general. Yeah.
So then we're gonna skip raising water, raising sewer, garbage, all that, this is one,
Yeah.
and we can,
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have to do that study with that
We start
gentleman?
raising the water.
let's still do that, please, that's free, we may as well.
Okay.
Or is it a bunch of work?
It's a lot of work. I gotta go back to the last 3 years of stuff.
To what? To what?
We got
It's, Tom from Moore Engineer called me, and there's a study they do now, there's a, grant where they take your financials from, I don't know, what'd you say, 3 years? And basically they're doing it around the state, and they tell you where you're at for average, what you should raise depending on, like now we know we're bleeding from the garbage fund, we know we're
Yeah.
bleeding from the water fund.
We're the cheapest garbage around in so many towns.
That's what I'm saying, that we can
Because I
have
call
this
around,
for all of the citizens to look at and say, hey, well, this is why they need to raise this. It's, like I said, it's a study they're doing, but it's gonna
I meet
answer a
with
lot
them
of
next
questions
Monday.
for us.
and I'm probably gonna need,
Is it
Bill's
free?
help with it too.
There's grants for it, it's absolutely free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Any literature you give to the community is much needed, I
It
think.
would give, and it'd give us the help.
It's, I thought more for us too,
Yeah,
just for a
100%.
heads up on where we're at.
Yeah.
And they pretty much, it's better than Harold sitting there telling us
Yeah.
that we suck, but this will be state averages, and they will go through our personal city financial situation and say, this doesn't look good, this looks good, this,
Yeah, I like that.
so.
I know, trying for the.
I wish I could see that.
Yeah,
I wish I could
so-
see a piece of paper like that.
Now, is that the one for the, it's called the American Rescue Plan Act?
I can't remember what he told me.
'Cause I got two different ones on, this one I have to have you sign, this is one. My city accepts the funding applications. Oh. And this one here, Tom told me to fill out too, so I have to meet the daily
Oh,
guy
can I
next
look at
Monday.
it after? Well,
Yep, the next,
get
the
done.
daily
Just
guy
do
next
it.
Monday, but
Thanks.
yeah, you'll have to sign that, cause I gotta send all that in. This one, he said, but you've gotta go back with the federal government and show exactly how you spent this grant that's coming out every October. Can't, that we have to put totally in a different spot, and we gotta be accountable for every dime of it with the federal government.
On which grant?
This one here, we're looking at.
And this is for what?
I think it was something with water. I'd have to ask, Tom again, but he said a lot of towns were getting that one, and it's for water projects. And you have until 2025 to use the money.
Future water project.
Future water project.
He gave us a sheet on that, that was many meetings ago, I think. He
Okay.
was a similar deal.
Okay. It's to have the funding available if we need it, basically.
Yeah, but if we spend it, they'll send you the money, you have it sitting, we'll have to put it in a separate account, I suppose. But every October, you gotta account for that money with the federal government and what you spent.
Well, that won't be an issue, so.
Yeah,
Right.
Okay.
so I need you to sign that one, so I can
Okay.
finish it off.
Real good. So we got that done, and we'll look in, that's approval upon what, if we need to.
I'm
do
gonna call,
things or-
I'll call the League of Cities and ask her.
Okay.
We have to do the reading, and just start the readings then.
Okay. Real
Good
good.
done. I agree too.
Any other questions or comments and additions? No? Okay, so we'll move into bills then. If you
I
guys
didn't see
have,
anything out of the ordinary.
I looked at it earlier, I thought. It was really good.
A lot of stamps going on.
I gotta tell you what I did, okay, the stamps were going up in price. So Katie called me and I went over and bought every 22-cent stamp they had. So I have stamps for 3 months, so you won't be seeing the US Post Office on there for the next 2 months. Well, Miller Honey came behind and they were trying to get some, just mail out all their stuff and they had no stamps. And then I bought some regular stamps too for the city, because before they all went up in price. So yeah, that's a lot of stamps we have.
Yeah, I approve that.
Any other questions? If not, yeah, motion. Jeff, high motion, second.
Motion.
Second.
Taylor, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then, I didn't catch the part. What were we supposed to do with Markham's thing here?
You were just looking at it, I was
Okay,
just
there's
letting
nothing we
you,
need to
no,
decide on?
no, I just wanted you guys to be aware that money's all come in now.
Okay,
So I don't think, he doesn't, I'm pretty sure he doesn't owe anything else at all to the city for all that, the garbage trucks, the dog bite, the everything.
Except it's 238.
No, that's all of these are checks that came into me from Logan County. They took it from his taxes.
Oh,
So I have a check in hand of all that.
so this is all paid.
so it wasn't assessed, it was, he actually paid it then?
Well, they assessed his property with it, so he was gonna lose
It
his
goes on his
property.
taxes.
Yeah, he assessed his taxes, so he had to have all this paid up this year, or he'd lose his property. So he's come up with the money and he's paid for everything for his house, and
Oh,
the
good
city
for
got
them.
all their money.
Yeah, that's great.
Good for them, and hopefully we can move forward now.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I was just showing you that everything was paid.
Okay, I didn't know if we
Assessed.
needed to do something.
No, nothing, that was just for your interest.
Alright. Anything else for tonight, guys, are we good? Date and time for next
Did I
meeting?
put down there for you to, does everybody
We
want to
probably take-
switch to 7, or you wanna stay at 8?
Starting to get pretty dark, pretty early.
Is this
That's
the
up
time
to
of
you.
year we do that? I don't know.
You're farming, so it's your call.
It's gonna be tough for me to make next meeting no matter what time you make it.
Oh, okay.
We'll just play it by ear, but.
Let's just go 7 then.
Just do it
Go
early.
at that.
Okay, so Monday, October 4th, 2021 at 7 PM. Alright, and then the motion to adjourn,
And
Larry, a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Alright.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
And it's what, 7?
7 PM October 4th.